What is up? It's Dakota Layden here from Destination Fear, and you are listening to the Paranomaly Zone.
A ghostly apparition in the dark of night.
Human sacrifice, dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria.
So, Mike, did you dress up as a kid for Halloween?
Dress up?
Yes.
Yes.
Did you dress up?
Back in the 60s, we had a great time dressing up. It was always making our own, unless it was, you go to the Five and Dime or Kmart and you buy those little plastic masks, like, you can get a ghost, a witch, all that stuff. And the non-fire retardant outfits that went with it.
Oh, man. That's funny I have memories of that too.
Yeah.
Of those. It was basically, you were essentially wearing like a garbage bag.
Yeah.
Over your body, like a painted garbage bag.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like you said, those unbelievably thin, frail, fragile masks with the string around it.
That are
All right,
very,
Mike, I want you.
They're very collectible right now.
I bet. I have a C-3PO one. Well,
I
you can't
know.
see
I love
it.
that one.
I have it right behind me, but you can't quite see it. But and no one can see it because this is audio only. A lot of the listeners are going, "Thank God we don't have to look at their faces today." But Mike, so before we get into some of your memories of dressing up and what you did dress up as, can you guess? Can you guess what my first Halloween costume was? And I have photographic evidence of this.
Darth Vader.
Who the hell is Darth Vader?
Darth Vader. That's
no.
my guess. Okay.
No, this is when
Mark
I still lived out on not Mark. No, it was not Star Wars related because this was before I was even aware of Star Wars. Right. I was probably 3 or 4 at the most because maybe 5 because we still lived out on our farm. And I was a wee little kid. Do you care to take another guess, or do you want to hear? I mean, everyone's waiting with bated breath right now, just panting and frothing at the mouth, waiting to hear what I dressed up as.
I have a feeling it's coming to me. I feel it.
Oh, Lord.
I am seeing a scarecrow.
A scarecrow, huh? No, but you are oddly close when it comes to the animal family. Yes, it was a bird. It was Woody Woodpecker.
Oh,
yes.
My gosh.
Yeah, Woody Woodpecker. Little Patrick with his pecker mask on his face. or pecker fask, whatever that is.
I used to watch that show when I was a kid.
Pecker fask? Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah. Well, that's crazy, but yeah, I bet you were just adorable, weren't you, Patrick?
Well, I don't know. You couldn't see me. All you saw was a creepy mask.
That's why you were adorable.
Right.
No, I'm just kidding.
With the big, the cutout eyeballs and stuff, and yeah. So I was Woody Woodpecker. What were you? What were some of Mike's Halloween costumes that you recall?
Let's see. I'm pretty sure. Now this goes way, way back, but I think appropriately enough, I had a Casper Halloween costume.
Oh, you did?
With the Casper mask. I do believe I did.
Casper Mike, which is his nickname. I'm looking at the name Casper on the screen right now.
Yeah.
He dressed up as Casper. Was it creative, or did you just throw like a bed sheet over your head or a pillowcase?
No, it was the plastic mask with the non-fire retardant plastic.
There you go.
Again. But
I know.
But I remember another year where, well, back then, actually, when we would make our own costumes or make up our own faces or whatever. I think one time I went as I think it was a hobo or a tramp or something.
Oh, really?
But what my dad did was took a cork and lit it on fire on the end and let it burn a little bit, blew it out. So then you got this black charcoal, and he would charcoal on like a beard with that and everything. And that's an awesome memory for me.
Those are great memories.
I
great
can still smell that burnt cork,
Oh, I bet.
and having it on my face for the night, But one time I remember this, and I hope that it really did happen. So the story is true, but it's like vague. I remember one year my sister, and this I must have been very, very young. She took a marker and was doing my face, and that shit didn't come off for a while.
What the heck was drawn on your face?
Well, like the eyebrows and a mustache, and I know for a fact too, if that happened, she did it on purpose because she knew what she was doing, and she was laughing on the inside.
Oh my Lord! So let me guess. So you had to go to school with that stuff still on your face?
Yes, I believe I did, because I have a vague memory of me sitting at my desk and kids looking at me funny. I think that was the beginning of my hatred for school for the rest of my school career.
Well, yeah. God damn.
And this was probably like second grade.
That's traumatic. That is some traumatic stuff going on there. But hey, you know what?
And Steve, if you remember any of that stuff, let me know, because it's like a vague memory, but interesting.
Yeah,
anyway.
Mike's brother Steve, not just some random Steve out there who might be listening.
Steve, jag har så snitted.
Him too.
Him too.
Yes. Well, Mike, it is good to see you. We should dive into some Halloween horror and hoopla. Yes, this is the Halloween episode, and believe it or not, the final Paranormally Zone podcast. Let me rephrase it. The final standard Paranormally Zone podcast, as far as where you will be able to listen to the Paranormally Zone, because we are moving over to YouTube as of a couple days from now. This episode will be available, as will all the other back catalog episodes. They will be available through Spotify, Pandora, all that good stuff through the month of November. But this will be the last new content you will get on said platforms from the Paranormally Zone. If you want to continue listening to our shenanigans, please go subscribe to the Paranormally Zone YouTube channel, because that's where it's all going down. It's going to be cool. It's going to be exciting.
Oh, yeah.
Exclusively.
Yes, it's going to be awesome. And, everything, we're not changing anything else. The name is still the same.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Well, I'm not going to make the mistake again.
Yeah.
We have the same name.
Yeah, but you did that on purpose last time.
Kind of, whatever I did, I screwed up.
Yeah,
so this one, we're giving people ample time.
Yes.
Again, if you are subscribed to the Paranormally Zone through any other podcast platform, please head on over to the Paranormally Zone YouTube page and subscribe there, and you will continue to get the same amount of monthly content, plus YouTube videos, and much, much more. It's going to be pretty cool. Looking forward to it.
And the same great content, and we are always striving to do better.
Hopefully, yeah. We've been striving to do better for 10 years, and has it happened?
Well, little leaps and bounds here and there.
Little leaps and bounds. It's the cliched saying of 2 step forward and 1 step back type thing.
No, 2 steps forward and 8 steps back is usually
8 step backs. Okay, yeah. It's about 8. Damn it. Okay. Well, in case you haven't figured it out, this is indeed the Paranormally Zone, your weekly dose of all things hell, you guessed it, paranormal, strange, and mysterious. My name is Patrick Koffenberg, and I am joined, as always, by my co-host with the ghosts, the paranormal poster boy himself, the man who can walk around with his ass hanging out of his pants with no care in the world, Mr. Mike Carbno. Mike, it was good to see you this past weekend. Very, very briefly, we have to plug.
Yes.
We have to. What the hell? We posted on the Patreon page this past Saturday. What did we do, Mike, on Saturday? Just get to the point.
Well, I'll tell you what I don't do is have my ass sticking out of my pants.
Okay, sorry, I exaggerated a little bit.
Yes, you did.
Just a little bit.
But anyway, that's okay. It was in good fun, and I almost enjoyed it. But anyway,
it was a bit breezy, a bit windy,
yeah, it's a bit nutty.
a little bit nut. Well, I hope it isn't nutty on that side of
Yeah,
your
I
pants,
know.
but
But anyway, yes,
anyways.
this past weekend, we had a fantastic time. I felt good about the evening, and I thought, yeah, something's going to be good. I didn't know what, but
Oh man, it's kind of funny how we set off on yet another jaunt, hopefully to capture some paranormal evidence of any sort, audio, video. I guess this would qualify as paranormal,
mhm,
but in a totally different aspect, a totally
yes,
different vein, Mike.
a different genre.
We didn't capture a ghost on video. We captured a goddamn UFO on video, Mike.
Which excited the hell out of me. Well, you
From
too.
from a top of Standing Rock, about 20 minutes away from Enderlin, North Dakota. Yeah, a
Where I
longtime
live.
listeners know we've made quite a few jaunts to Standing Rock. It's a pretty special place.
Very spiritual, very native. Well, hundreds of years ago, Native Americans had uh, been there for ceremonies and just huge events. And there
Well, we believe.
are burial mounds there as well.
I was just going to say yes. There. We aren't certain if at the very top of the hill there, where Standing Rock actually is, if that is part of an actual burial mound.
Yeah, which if it is, it kind of bothers me. I just standing on.
Right,
But
right.
but that's the way they have it set up. But yeah.
But we were there, and we'll keep this as brief as possible. But the video is on our Patreon page. Again, if you enjoy what you listen here, no better way to support Paranormally Zone podcast and to give our Patreon page a chance for as little as $1 a month.
Mm-hmm.
We were on top, Standing Rock, doing some EVP sessions. Mike had the spirit box rolling. This was at night. It was cold. It was breezy. I was casually talking about, while looking at the sky,
Beautiful,
talking
clear
about
sky as well.
unbelievably clear sky.
Looking up and you're seeing the Milky Way, and
yeah, I mean, thousands upon thousands of stars were up there, not a cloud in the sky. And I'm
the
commenting
Big
about,
Dipper.
if you stare long enough at the sky, you're going to see objects moving. You're going to see jets. You're going to see planes. You're going to see satellites. Yada
Yeah,
yada yada.
yeah. Or your
And
eyes might focus or unfocus, and it looks like something's moving when it's really not.
Yeah, any number of things, And I happened to glance a couple of moving satellites, and I casually mentioned, like those right there. I bet you those are like Elon Musk's Starlink satellites.
And
when I said that, right when I said that, Mike goes, "Well, wait, let me back up." I say,
yeah.
I said something along the lines of, Mike, when we spot these satellites, what needs to happen is for one of them to take like a direct 90-degree turn.
Yes.
And Mike immediately goes, "What the bleep is that?" And I will let you fill in the blank on that one. I turn around, we get it on. I get it on my phone. We film it. Mike, it was the classic ginormous glowing blue cigar-shaped UFO /
Yes, it was.
UAP. It was incredible.
It had to have been huge because it was up there, but we saw it as looking pretty. It's big,
significant in size, and totally silent.
Totally silent, yeah.
And after viewing it on, well, I'd say in totality, it was probably visible for not even 2 minutes. I have it on video for a little over a minute, and then, Mike, it faded away.
It did something first, though. You remember what you said?
Yes.
It was going at an angle. It was going fast, and then all of a sudden, it made that turn to the east that you were just talking about. And,
I was just talking about.
People, I tell you, this sounds crazy. It sounds like, oh yeah, what a story that is. But I swear to God that this is true. And then
we have the proof.
Yes, and after it made that turn, it started kind of flickering a little bit.
It did.
And then all of a sudden the flickering, and then it was gone. It
faded.
It faded away and it was gone. It disappeared. And not like it faded into the distance, like away, it was just gone all of a sudden.
And Mike, if you like really scrutinize the video, if you watch it quite a bit, right before it fades away, disappears, it flies in front of what must be, obviously a very bright star, very significant star, or maybe it's a planet, but it was a very obvious celestial body up there. When it flew in front of that, and I'm not joking, Mike, if you look closely, you can see that this cylindrical, cigar-shaped, whatever it is, almost becomes like translucent, because at the very end of it, you can see the star shining through that blue cylindrical shape. I don't know what that means. I don't know what was happening there, but it was bizarre and awesome. And it kind of blew us away. So, if you want to check that out.
Well, this is such an awesome video, and just raw video. It's you and I with our organic responses.
Yep. F-bombs. Sorry about that.
And I think it's such a good capture that I think it needs to be shared more than just on Patreon. I think
you could be onto something there.
I think this needs to be shared with different UFO groups. And professional UFO groups that you can find on the Twit.
I was looking at MUFON's page just the other day.
Share it with them, and they would love to hear that story. They want to know these things and where they happen. And
absolutely. Now, I believe it said if we knew like the exact coordinates, they prefer us to provide that information. How the hell would I be able to find out the exact coordinates of Standing Rock? I mean, is that an ignorant question on my point? I suppose I could find it.
I'd say no. Just write in. No. What are you talking about?
I'd say it's Standing Rock, and it was in the sky, hundreds and hundreds of feet in the sky.
Yeah,
it was incredible. And you go to MUFON, just for example, right away when it said they give you the option of like submitting a video or something, or submitting a UFO sighting, it provides a list of, if what you saw was one of these, do not submit, because this is something totally else, like Elon Musk's Starlink satellites. And there are a couple other examples on there too. I think one was like some sort of, I couldn't remember, but it's some sort of vessel / satellite that upon re-entering the atmosphere, it creates this giant like spiral illusion. Like you look up at the sky. Yeah. And they're like, this isn't anomalous. This isn't, alien in any way. This is simply like a satellite re-entering.
But it sure looks alien though. It looks like an opening portal or something.
But I tell you what, nothing on there about if you saw a giant blue glowing cigar shaped anomaly, don't submit it, because it is what it is, Mike. It's a damn UAP.
Yes.
It was exciting.
It was fun.
Oh yeah, we were kind of blown away the rest of the night. And so again, for Patreon subscribers, we'll keep it exclusive there for the time being, and then Mike, you and I will talk about it more about submitting it.
Yes, it needs to be spread around. In my opinion, it's that good of a video, I believe.
Maybe I could reach out to, like, if there is if Caught on Camera is still at a show out there, maybe I could submit it to that.
Yeah.
Paranormal Caught on Camera, perhaps.
Yes.
Interesting.
And remember Peter Gersten at the UFO Reporting Center.
Him too. Oh my gosh, there's all sorts of places I could submit it. I'm still trying to wrap my mind around. But anyways, it's Halloween, Mike. It's Halloween in 2 days. And I'm going to say it right now just to annoy the hell out of your niece. Sam Hain.
Sammy Jimey.
Sam Hain. No, and I'm kidding.
Yeah.
It's
don't mess with my niece.
It's actually pronounced Samhain.
Yes.
As in like Sowen or In.
Samhain.
We'll spare all you listeners out there for all the boring behind the scenes facts and all that stuff about the history of Halloween, because you've heard it 1,000 times before. But we do have some cool stuff lined up for this episode, this Halloween horror and hoopla. I don't want to say an adieu of any sort. We're not saying goodbye. We're starting anew, right?
Yeah,
it's not adieu. It's starting anew.
Yeah, it's like taking a side dirt road or something and just driving off into the sunset. or
off the flat Earth, right?
yeah. Yeah. Whoa! Look out!
Yep. Damn it! It's true.
We're at the edge.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Oh, well, obviously, yeah. Before we fall off the edge, Mike's final words.
Ow!
Yeah, there he goes.
Yeah.
So, Mike, I got some true Halloween crime stories, some Halloween true crime. I've got some interesting Halloween factoids, kind of the scary Halloween facts, not just your basic. Wow, Mike's getting really close to the camera right now.
I'm anticipating these stories.
Huh. I also
yeah.
have the top 5 cases of zombies from the
my.
real world. We got some good zombie related stuff. I think Mike said that he might have a couple cool short ghost stories. Man, we're just filled with Halloween hoopla and excitement. I tell you what, this is what I'm doing right now. Yep, there it went.
Oh, what?
I'm excited.
Okay.
Sorry. Sick humor.
And I'm just sitting here going, what?
Yeah. Oh, sorry about that. Damn it. I got at least the damn button bar's working that you said that.
Yeah, I can hear
Here we go. Here it is.
Buttons.
Yeah, sorry about that, listeners. It doesn't make any sense when it's out of context.
I still think that sounds like the original password when they're saying the password.
Exactly.
And the password is buttons. Yeah.
Yes.
So, anyway.
Round, holes in it.
Yes.
You put a string through. The answer is
buttons.
That's right. Okay. So what do you want to start with, Mike? I gave you the list. You didn't respond to me.
Didn't I?
Well, no, not at all.
When, how often
Mike
does that happen?
Mike also forgets what he's talking about mid-sentence every now and then, but it happens.
A little too often. Well, hey, that happened a lot when you were here this past weekend.
It's me. It has to be me. Something's like, I don't know. Well, should I start off with some interesting Halloween facts, maybe?
Yeah,
Mike?
I still can't find your list, so go ahead.
We'll get that stuff out. I didn't send you anything. That's why you can't find it.
Oh, I thought you said you sent me a list. See, there I go.
When did you hear that? Not once did I say that.
Okay, I'm sorry. I apologize.
It's okay. It really is.
Sorry.
Nope, Mike's going to start crying now. So I got to find the right thing as well. This is what happens when you're a professional podcast, boys and girls. This is what happens.
Professionally amateuristic.
This is from history.co.uk. So this is from across the pond. History Channel UK version.
Yes.
Yeah. We got some frightening facts about Halloween. They're not about Halloweens. About
Which
Halloween.
one?
It's not like you're going to be, shaking in your boots with some of this stuff, But we'll hopefully try to entertain as well as inform.
Let's make
it
fun.
We're talking about Samhain. We're not talking about Sam Hain, even though it's spelled like that. Samhain. We all know that Samhain translates into summer's end. It's kind of like bringing on the dark time of the year in Celtic legend / lore / history. The Celts, Mike, believed that the veil between the living and the dead was thinnest at this time of the year. Do you buy that? Do you think that's why everyone buys into Halloween in the first place?
Yes, and they played great basketball as well.
No kidding, they did. Very, very good.
The Celts.
You Larry Bird guy? Or?
Yeah, I was going to say just Larry Bird, but I just
or Bill. Are you more Bill Russell?
Hey, very good.
Kevin McHale, Minnesota boy. I mean, I could.
They are all awesome. Anyway, carry on.
My wayward son. There it is.
Sorry.
So, do you believe in that veil, Mike, being the thinnest at this time of the year?
I do. There is something to say for the as even as a newly revived Christian myself, there is a form of paganism.
You were dead before? Mike's been revived?
You know what I mean.
But, okay, you weren't literally reborn.
Yes. Yeah, that's right. You got it.
Okay.
But there's so much of the pagan, I don't want to say religion, that life, and there's so much that is connected to that, like these seasons and
Mm-hmm.
and and what they're called. There's it's just a big thing that there's something
It's
to
tradition.
it. Yes.
It's tradition.
Oh,
It's become tradition, I should say.
forever. I mean, it's been going on since the beginning of time. The whatever form of paganism it's always been there.
But the old Celts, Larry Bird included, Mike, during this time, during their ceremonies, during their celebrations, they tried to ward off ghosts and evil spirits with bonfires, costumes, and masks to trick the spirits into moving on. So a little brief summary there about stuff that you probably already knew, but hey,
well,
still
it sounds all familiar because that's what we do nowadays.
Well, sure, exactly. So you're saying we're very repetitive, is what you're saying?
Well, no,
no,
yeah, no, I can't come up with the word. Go ahead.
Well, Mike, did you know that Halloween masks have a sinister past? Sinister. The rituals of the ancient Celts were more bloodthirsty than the costumes of modern-day Halloween, I'll tell you that right now. In traditional Samhain celebrations, the Celt... Why do I feel like I'm butchering that, too? I'm paranoid about mispronouncing.
Samhain?
I don't know. Samhain. I think it's Samhain.
Okay.
Traditional celebrations, the Celts' masks were made from animal skins and other parts of dead animals. These masks, as mentioned before, were said to ward off evil spirits as they passed on at this very, very spooky time.
Yeah, the smell alone would scare them away.
Oh, yeah, you'd
dead
think.
Animals on your face.
Dead animal flesh.
Yes.
America's favorite food, dead animal flesh.
Now available at all grocery stores near you.
See, that wouldn't sell very well, would it? Mom, where's the dead animal flesh aisle? It's right around the corner, honey.
Don't we still have some cow udders in the fridge? Anyway.
Where's the fresh flesh? I want some fresh flesh. Okay, sorry.
Anyway.
America's love for Halloween, Mike, was driven by immigrants. The Irish settlers who fled to America after the potato famine in the 1840s were actually very instrumental in popularizing Halloween in their new home. They brought their traditional celebrations with them, and this soon became a national hit. Oh, thanks to the immigrants.
And continues to this day.
Thanks,
immigrants. The Irish.
30th October. The Irish, yes. 30th October is known as Mischief Night, Mike. Ooh, it's Mischief Night. This is Mike on Mischief Night. Yeah. Yeah.
Let's go tip over that outhouse. Yeah.
Mike. Absolutely, man. Woo, yeah, I agree. It says here, you probably remember it from childhood, but 30th October has traditionally been enjoyed as Mischief Night, or, get this, it's also been referred to as Goosey Night. Goosey Night in different parts of the UK.
I thought you were going to say it's tip over the outhouse night.
No, Goosey Night. So, yeah, it's kind of interesting.
So I wonder what I wonder what the definition of that would be. What is the goosey?
I don't know.
What does that imply?
What would you do if you went and pushed over a sleeping cow and it responded with this?
I don't know if that's a true thing. Can you really tip over a cow when they're sleeping?
I've never tried, and I never will.
I think it would wake up pretty damn quick. Yeah, exactly. We'd go out and do it, and it'd be a bowl. Yeah. Oh, boy, I didn't see that coming.
Yeah, I gotcha. I totally understand.
Okay.
Well, it's not quite as popular as it once was. This occasion saw young pranksters taken to the streets with eggs, toilet paper, and other unwanted nasties to shower their neighbors' homes.
Bags of poop that they burn on their front doorsteps.
Yes. How did that ever get started? Anyways,
it was some jerk, because that's a real
that's
asinine
just nasty
move. Now watch,
Mike. How rare do you think? How rare do you think a full moon is on Halloween? Uh-oh.
I would think
finish
that. Buttons.
You can't go without finishing it.
Right. I don't think it would be very common. I think it comes at a certain time over a certain
You'd be right.
number of years, and that is probably an extremely special night. That a very big night.
Would you like to know the answer, Mike? Okay, first off, the last full moon on October 31st was in 2020, but however, the moon is full approximately every 19 years on Halloween. So there you go.
So
kind of a stretch there.
Yeah, it's kind of a celestial marker or something.
Ooh, I like that. Yeah. Halloween coincides with the traditional Day of the Dead. The Day of the Dead is a significant celebration in Mexico, other Latin American countries, celebrated between October 31st and the 2nd of November. Celebration combines ancient Aztec rituals. You just love jumping all over me. You're excited to go.
I thought
tonight.
You were done.
No, I know it's that pausing, that dramatic pausing I throw in there.
Yeah.
The celebration combines ancient Aztec rituals with Catholic adaptations. So there you go.
Yes, I actually have seen that in person from a distance. But when I was in the Philippines, on that day, well, there's this huge cemetery on the slope of a mountain. And on that day, the cemetery is full of people, the relatives of the dead. And they actually go there. They spend the night there. They have like parties, celebrations, and food, and just spending that time with their past loved ones. And the part that I saw of it was, I don't know how many miles away it was, but I had a good view of the mountain. But the side of this, it was a small mountain, but the side of this was just totally lit up. I mean, just this entire huge area.
That had been an awesome sight.
Oh, it was amazing. It really was. It really was.
Well, that's another cool memory.
Yeah.
Usually, when Mike starts a story with "when I was in the Philippines," you want to open those ears of yours, because
and then
it'll be worth the story for sure.
But you also have to learn when to shut your ears and I don't want to hear that.
That's true. That's very, very true. Yep.
No, I'm just kidding. Kind of.
Mike, did you know that traditional bonfires contained bones? Did you know that?
No, I did not.
Original Celtic bonfires were more aptly named bone fires, as the Celts threw animal bones into the flames to ward off those same pesky, damn evil spirits. They were really concerned about those pesky evil spirits.
So somewhere over the line, along the line, centuries or whatever, it's just the E dropped off, or what's added.
Right. Yep, exactly.
Or what's dropped off, I mean, yeah.
It was what was dropped off. Yeah, you were right the first time.
Yeah, that's crazy. I love that.
That's interesting. Very interesting. The fear is real, Mike. The fear is real. And by that, I mean, while many people don't enjoy the scary nature of Halloween, the spooky, scary nature, not many can say they have a genuine recognized phobia of this time of the year. But, and we've talked about this before, and everyone knows this one, it's old news. Sawinophobia, Mike, is a very real thing. People suffering from sawinophobia experience anxiety and terror about anything Halloween related. I really feel for people who don't find any enjoyment in this time of the year, in Halloween in general. I mean, it's a real thing. We're not knocking that by any means. We're not.
There are terrified people. I mean,
Yeah.
But what I think would be really interesting is if you carved 3 pumpkins, scary, and put it on her front doorstep facing the door.
Now, why would you do that? Why would you do that?
Halloween prank? I don't know.
Okay.
No, I would not do that.
Now, that would freak you out.
Yes.
That would freak you out.
It just makes me laugh, but yeah.
Mike, witches are more wise than wicked.
I'm sure they are.
Are more wise than wicked. Although the witch has become a symbol of Halloween, and while the image of the wicked witch who scares young children and casts evil curses is considered particularly seasonal, that's not historically what witches are all about. The witch is taken from the Old English Wicca, which translates as wise woman. The Wicca in Anglo-Saxon villages were held in high esteem and would use their magic through pagan rites and ceremonies to summon good harvests.
So the Wicca, I mean, well, there's Wicca, there's Wiccan. It's, that is such a strong thing now, even. And also, Mike, I actually have a favorite witch.
And?
Elizabeth Montgomery. She was so
well,
pretty.
There you go. Oh, she is so pretty. Oh, so pretty.
She was back then, yeah.
Pretty vacant. No.
My stomach.
Well, it's not your stomach.
I know, but I got to say that every time. Go ahead.
We'll end some of these Halloween factoids with a kind of a goofy, silly one. Mike, did you know that the spooky hit Monster Mash was actually once banned by the BBC?
I believe I've heard that, and I had that 45, and I played the hell out of it.
Yeah.
Bobby Boris Pickett. Yeah.
I don't think we had the 45, but I do remember if it wasn't ours, it was like, I think it might have been like our cousin's record or something. I remember listening to old like Halloween 12-inch records, not the 45s.
Yeah.
And that song was on those.
Yeah.
Those old classic spooky records where you'd have the ambient noises, the sounds, the creepy voices, and all that stuff. I love those things.
I think Disney put one out, didn't they?
It says here that the BBC made the unusual decision to ban this 1962 hit from airplay because they considered it, quote, too morbid. So there you go.
I thought you were going to say because it was too stupid.
Well, that too, but no. Hey, times they have changed, Mike.
Yes, they have. The morbidity has changed.
The morbidity. Morbidity.
Bibbidi bobbidi bibbidi boo.
Yeah, well, at least my lips and tongue are working at top form today for...
But don't ever do that again.
Don't ever say my lips and tongue are working at top form. Mike actually muted himself for that one. That's pretty good.
I did. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I didn't want to hear people hear me gag. But anyway, we are flying off the handle here now. Focus.
No, I am focused.
Yes.
I am very, very focused.
I got feeling for you.
Yes. Sorry, Christopher Walken is here. I'm sorry. He's behind me right now, actually. You can't see him, but he's there.
Every once in a while, he has to pipe up a little bit.
He just has to let us know that.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. Exactly. That's exactly it. So, hey, we appreciate his feelings for us.
Yes.
We really
I
do.
can't.
And
we know.
Yes, and his participation in the episodes.
His participation. Yeah, we very much appreciate it.
And just for stopping by for coffee.
Just for stopping by. Chris, do you have plans for Halloween?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Would you like some coffee? Would you like some more coffee?
Huh?
I don't know.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Jeez, you're slow.
Try that one again. Say it again. Say that again.
I don't even what did I say?
Mike or Christopher Walken, would you like some coffee?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Very excited about that coffee.
He doesn't like caffeine, I guess.
Moving on.
Yeah, please.
Mike, True Crimes of Halloween. Some really depraved shit has gone down on Halloween, and that's no joke.
Yep, got to hear it.
Would you care to hear some of these very unfortunate examples?
Yes.
Take your silly cap off. Some of these are pretty darn like.
What's wrong with my scally?
No. Your scally's fine.
I know. Go ahead. I'm excited.
Some of these you might recognize.
Okay.
And some of them you may not. We're going back to Halloween, October 31st, 1979, Mike. And this is a story referring to the infamous Toolbox Killers.
Oh, yes.
We were going to do a true crime on these guys a while back. Didn't get around to it. Not saying we're not going to.
Yeah.
On the Patreon page, because that's where the true crime episodes are now available on Patreon. Man, these guys, awful.
Absolutely.
I mean, as the late great As the late, great Norm MacDonald would say after describing their acts of depravity, the torture that they put their victims through, the hell that they should be burning in right now, he'd say, man, they were just real jerks.
Jeez.
Anyways.
Ridiculous.
1979, October 31st, 16-year-old Shirley Lynette Ledford was leaving a Halloween party when she was hit.
Oh, man.
See, good timing. Great timing.
I know.
Mike's Brass Monkey is back.
Mike's Monkey.
Hey, monkey, monkey. Woo-hoo. See, I lost my train of thought. Thanks to your damn brass
Toolbox Murders.
Your new fingerless brass monkey, I guess.
Yeah, the wires are coming through, but it makes it look creepier. I love it. Anyway.
No disrespect to, obviously, victim Shirley Lynette Ledford and her family. This is awful. This is awful true story. She was leaving a Halloween party when she was hitchhiking and picked up by a dingy van belonging to Lawrence Bittaker and Roy Norris, the deadly duo who became known as the Toolbox Killers. Their main practice was picking up female hitchhikers in the 1970s, torturing them with toolbox tools. They committed the kidnapping, rape, torture, and the murder of 5 teenage girls in Southern California, over a 5-month-long period. Shirley was the 5th and final victim of Bittaker and Norris. She was held captive for nearly 2 hours, in which she experienced a night of brutal torture, sexual assault, intense bodily beatings, and verbal abuse. Shirley died through strangulation by a wire coat hanger, and her body was left on a front lawn to be discovered by a passing-by jogger the very next morning.
Ugh. That's horrible.
The Toolbox Killers. That's nothing, Mike. I want to say, and correct me if I'm wrong, true crime aficionados, I want to say these two gentlemen, and I'm saying that in the in the least respectful way possible, obviously. I believe there's audio recordings of their victims. I believe they taped their torturous acts on audio. I believe you can find it if you choose to do so. I warn you right now, if this is the correct murderous tandem, it's not for the faint of heart.
Yeah. What you find it on, the black web or whatever?
Yeah, I honestly don't remember where I found it, but I kind of wish I didn't.
Yeah, I don't go there. I don't.
Yeah, it's awful. I mean, you can. It's a harder search to find the audio. You can find the transcripts of it, and those are just as bad if you read them. Yeah. All right, Mike. Moving on to more happy true crime, Halloween true crime. That is the Candyman murder, Mike.
Oh,
the Candyman murder. Halloween night of 19.
Candyman can.
Please don't combine the two. Don't do that. It's not the same one.
Sammy Davis Jr. Oh.
What are you implying?
No, I'm just the song, the Candyman. Anthony
Mike,
Newley, I think, did it best.
You can't say anything on a public podcast. You have to realize there's going to be implications. Mike just said that Sammy Davis Jr. was a murderer. That's what Mike just implied.
No, I was singing the song "The Candyman" because the Candyman can.
Okay, but you have to clarify that. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. We were on two totally different subjects there, and they didn't cross either. They were just gone. No. They were gone anyway.
No, but I was also being very facetious, Mike. I was being obnoxious to
good use of the word facetious.
Not really.
Anyway, I want to hear more.
Yeah, Halloween night, 1974. Timothy O'Brien, an 8-year-old trick-or-treater, returned to his home in Houston, Texas, after a night of candy collecting. Upon returning home, Timothy's father, Ronald, gave him the popular candy called Pixie Sticks.
Ooh, I remember those.
Seconds after enjoying this tasty and seemingly innocent treat, Timothy began to vomit and died on the way to the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
According to Alabama BioClean, this is a quote, Police would later learn that Ronald had poisoned the candy with cyanide.
Well, yeah,
Collect.
the candy in there was a powder, so
Yes.
you could put whatever in there. Ugh.
Yep. He had poisoned the candy with cyanide to collect a life insurance policy to pay off his debts. What a guy! Timothy's father, Ronald Clark O'Brien, was nicknamed the Candyman and the man who killed Halloween. Using a potassium cyanide-laced pixie stick, his motive was to murder his son and claim the life insurance money to ease his own financial troubles, as he was $100,000 in debt. In a desperate attempt to cover his tracks, O'Brien distributed poisoned candy to his other child, Elizabeth, and 3 other children to cover up his crime.
Jeez.
However, his plan failed when neither his daughter nor the other children ate the poisoned candy. Thank God.
Yes.
Well, if he's still alive, I hope that he's suffering miserably, and then when he does pass away, I hope he burns in hell. That's fair, right?
Sure.
Maybe? Okay.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. Mike's favorite soundbite.
I hate that with a passion. It's moist, Patrick. It's very moist.
This is the sounds coming from the prison shower.
Enough. Oh, you're burning my ears. Jeez. My headset's melting. Why did you say that? God. Oh, you idiot. Now people are going to think things. Don't get a nosebleed.
No, I know I'm wearing a white hoodie. I'm probably nose will start bleeding again. Oh, goodness gracious.
Anyway, go ahead.
I muted myself. So am I back on? Can you hear me? Am I good? Woo! Okay, Mike,
he wasn't breathing there for a while.
Oh, no. Okay, Mike.
Okay.
This horrifying Halloween true crime tale is called The Last Trick-or-Treater. Peter Fabiano and his wife Betty had gone to bed on Halloween night in 1957, believing that they were finished with those darn little trick-or-treaters.
And they woke up in 1958.
That'd be trippy.
Yes.
However, the last late-night visitor was seeking more tricks than treats. Upon hearing the doorbell ring, Peter got up from bed, grabbed the nearby empty candy bowl, and walked up to the front door. Peter opened the door, and the ultimate trick was played. On his doorstep stood a woman wearing a mask who raised a gun and shot him in the chest, killing him instantly. According to Vice.com, Betty Fabiano found her husband with a bullet lodged just below his heart. Judy Solomon, Betty's 15-year-old daughter from a previous marriage, called the police. Peter was rushed to a nearby hospital, but he never woke up. Now, upon further investigation, the police discovered Goldine Pizer was the murderer. Old Goldine.
Lived down the street there.
Old Goldine lived down the street. She was a 43-year-old widow, and she admitted to the killing when arrested at her home. She said a friend of hers, 40-year-old Joan Rabble, former employee at one of Fabiano's beauty shops, talked her into committing the murder. Friends for 4 years, not 3, 4, Goldine and Joan planned the murder for 3 months. The motive behind the murder was that Peter stood in the way of Joan's plan to pursue a romantic relationship with his wife, Betty.
Oh.
So Peter was in the way. They planned his murder for 3 months. What a way to seduce a guy. Yeah, blow away him to get his wife. I mean, come on.
Bad Becky.
Betty. I know, bad Betty. God damn it. Well, no, she was a good one. Betty was the good one. She was the one who they were trying to seduce by killing the husband.
Yeah,
that's what I meant to say.
I'm listening. So.
Yeah, Mike usually tunes me out after about 30 seconds. No. I think all of our listeners do too.
Yeah.
Mike, this took place 2010, October 31st. Obviously, Halloween. This is a Halloween House of Horrors. Horrors.
Yeah. Clarify.
2 syllables. Devin Griffin discovered a gruesome scene that he initially believed to be a Halloween prank. Upon entering his home in Martin, Ohio, Devin found his mother, 46-year-old Susan Liskey, stepfather, 53-year-old William Bill Liskey, and brother, 23-year-old Derek Griffin, brutally murdered.
And a whole bunch of women sitting on a red velvet couch.
Well,
Yeah.
Sorry. I just popped into my head and it had to come out.
well,
Okay.
According to crimeandcoffeecouple.com, a preliminary exam by the coroner determined that the deaths had been a result of either a gunshot or blunt object. Obvious trauma was found to all the victims' heads. There were no signs of a struggle, and it was suspected that they had been murdered as they slept, completely unaware of the danger they were in. Through later investigations, police found that William Liskey Jr., who the family called BJ, was the murderer of his own parents and siblings.
And the bear.
well,
Yes. The motive behind BJ's murders is connected to his multitude of mental illnesses. In 2007, BJ had been hospitalized for bipolar schizoaffective disorder. BJ received treatment through an inpatient therapy and medications and was stable when using a combination of the two. BJ went through spurts of rebellion when he refused to continue his treatment plan. He would then start drinking, smoking that horrible, awful, dangerous marijuana, causing the adverse effects and spiraling his mental health to the point of murdering his family. Well, I'm going to go out on a limb here and say the marijuana had nothing to do with it.
Yep, me too. I refuse to believe that.
I might be stretching it a bit there. Alcohol, sure. Mixture of all these medications, sure.
Yes.
History of mental illness, of course.
But marijuana?
No, don't think so.
Yeah, actually, I've been enjoying watching Snoop Dogg on different shows on TV now.
Really?
Yeah, he's one of the judges on The Voice, and he's
everywhere.
He's actually a really cool guy. I mean,
I've never thought that he wasn't a cool guy. He's very, very talented, and he definitely knows how to spread his name, his image. He's everywhere.
Yeah. Anyway,
great business. You know what? Great businessman.
Absolutely.
Finally, Mike, we have the slaying of a sister. On the morning of Halloween, October 31st, 1981, 76-year-old Sister Tadia Benz, this is awful, 76-year-old Tadia Benz was raped, strangled, and killed. Sister Tadia was a Catholic nun living in the St. Francis Convent in Amarillo, Texas. Her murderer had a substantial age difference between himself and his victim. Johnny Frank Garrett was accused of murdering a Catholic nun who lived across the street from him. Johnny was only 17 years old as he brutally raped and murdered a woman nearly 60 years older than him. On November 9th, 1981, Garrett, who lived across the street from the convent, was arrested and charged with murder. Eventually executed at the age of 28 at the Texas State Penitentiary in Huntsville. By lethal injection. Bye-bye, Johnny. Don't let the door kick you in the ass on the way to hell, buddy.
Yeah, I don't understand.
Halloween true crime. Don't mean to bring it up the downers that it is, but hell, it's horror, man. It's horror. Yeah. Real life horror.
Yeah. Evil.
Yucky. Yucky, yucky, yucky. Let's see, what next here? What's next? I know, that's how Mike feels about these damn things. I'm surprised he didn't burst out laughing in the middle of that story. So Mike
I was mortified. I kept just shaking my head and
yeah, you did. Man, we're just moving along here. We're moving along. This is a fast-paced episode of the Paranormally Zone. Mike, do you want to hear some cool zombie stuff?
Absolutely.
Zombie stuff from the real world?
Zip, zip, doodle on the zombie. Let's go.
Zip, zip, doodle
on the zombie. Let's
go.
On
the zombie. This is actually, this is our weekly top 5 intro right here, but we'll use this as an intro to some zombie macabre stuff. How's that sound?
Yes.
Zombie macabre.
Macabre.
Back. There you go. Sorry. Sorry for everyone who's deaf now. By the way, I didn't realize how loud that was.
Did you go into the red on that one?
I think I did. Yeah. There's a new intro for Moments of the Cob right there. And I just realized it had Moments of the Cob.
Oh yeah, I like a good corn on the cob.
Ooh, corn on the macabre. Here we go, Mike. Got some real life zombie stuff for you from the real world. Now, it might not be exactly what you're thinking here.
Mhm.
Some of this is a little different, but it's real. We're
Probably-
talking about zombie ants.
Oh my
Zombie ants, zombie spiders. This stuff has been proven to happen by the wonderful world of science.
God. I think I know how it happens, but go ahead.
Ophiocordyceps. Ophiocordyceps, Mike, is a genus of fungi
Mhm.
that has more than 200 species. Mycologists are still counting, actually. That's a minimum. Minimum of 200 species. Many species of fungi can be dangerous, often because they are toxic. But there's one thing in particular that makes Ophiocordyceps especially frightening. These species of fungus target, and that's in quotations, target and infect various insects through their spores.
Mhm.
After infection takes place, the parasitic fungus
Mhm.
takes control of the insect's mind, altering its behavior to make the propagation of fungal spores more likely.
Mm.
Ophiocordyceps feed on the insects they are attached to, growing into and out of their bodies until the insects die.
Then they got to move out to another one.
Woo!
Jeez,
Then
what-
they got to move out to another. And this is the sound of each insect leaving the other insect's body. There it went, right there.
Yeah, they're jumping like
There's
fleas.
another one. There's another one. Hey, look at them go.
And you don't want to get too close because they can jump
No.
pretty far.
Pretty far. Pretty far. Hey, there's another one.
But
One of these
parasitic,
species,
yes.
yeah. One of these species, Ophiocordyceps unilateralis, say that 5 times fast.
I won't say it once.
Yeah, actually, it's longer than that. It's Ophiocordyceps unilateralis sensu lato. Specifically infects, controls, and kills carpenter ants native to North America. So that was a lot of needless info for you. You get the gist. Now, when Ophiocordyceps unilateralis infect carpenter ants, they turn them into, you guessed it, zombies. The ants become compelled to climb to the top of elevated vegetation, where
And
they remain.
Jump off.
Yes, until where they remain affixed and die. Right. The high elevation allows the fungus to grow and later spread its spores widely. So, zombie in nature, Mike. Zombie ants. You want to hear a little bit about some zombie spiders?
Sure. I mean,
Or are you
isn't
bored to
nature
death?
wonderful?
Yeah, it is, but it's also terrifying.
It is. Can you imagine these same things happening on our level?
And if it does, if that's kind of the point of this
Yeah.
here, because it's proven to be possible.
Yeah.
Why not kind of on the higher scale when it comes to us silly humans, right?
Yeah. I mean, we're no better than a carpenter ant. I mean, you know.
No better than the carpenters, that's for sure.
Well, yeah, they were fantastic. Sad story.
R.I.P. R.I.P. Karen.
Beautiful voice.
Mike, a chilling discovery was made in the Ecuadorian Amazon
Mm.
by one zoologist Felipe Fernandez Fournier.
Mm.
I'm sorry I keep like emphasizing all this. I should just be a really boring,
No.
flat-toned
Yeah, monotone.
narrator. Very monotone. It was found that a previously unknown species of the Zatapoda wasp can manipulate. What are you laughing at me for?
Just that I love these big fancy words you're
Oh,
trying
okay.
to spew out.
Trying.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Carry
Like you
on.
could
I
do
want to hear this. This is exciting.
like you could do any better, right?
No, I wouldn't.
Previously unknown species of the Zatipota wasp can manipulate spiders from the. Here's another one. Can manipulate spiders from the Anolosimus eximius species to an extent that researchers have never before witnessed in nature. The AE spiders, for short, are social animals that prefer to remain in groups, never straying too far from their colonies.
And they like sitting on
However,
red velvet couches.
they do, very much so. What? Okay. But Fernandez Fournier and team noticed that members of this species infected with Zatapoda larvae exhibited bizarre behavior, leaving their colony to weave tightly spun cocoon-like webs in remote locations. When the researchers opened these artificial cocoons, they found Zatapoda larvae, growing inside. Further research presented a gruesome string of events. The Zatapoda wasps lay eggs on the abdomen of the AE spiders. When the egg hatches and the wasp larva emerges, it starts feeding on the spider and begins to take control of the spider's body. Mike is shaking his head in agreement. He's like, hell yeah!
No, I've heard this before, and it's amazing.
When the larva has gained this is larva.
Yeah.
Has gained full control of its spider host, it turns its zombie-like creature it turns the spider into a, zombie-like creature that is compelled to stray away from its mates and spin the cocoon-like nest that will allow the larva to grow into an adult wasp. So this spider is being controlled by the larva within it. It's being manipulated to go and do this old crazy other weaving stuff. Now, before entering its new cocoon, air quotes, the wasp larva first finishes its job by, of course, devouring its host. Wasps manipulating the behavior of spiders has been observed before, but not at a level as complex as this.
It's crazy. Yeah.
Real life zombie shit going on here. I love it, but it's creepy as frick.
But it's nature though. I mean, this is instinctual stuff they're doing. It's
Yeah.
not like they're thinking, okay, I got to do this. I got to do this. It's like this is in the system. I mean,
this is in their right. It's
it's like everyone that is hatched, born, whatever, is going to do the same thing.
And again, imagine this on a higher level.
Yeah. Aliens coming down and
man,
they made movies like that about that.
Oh boy.
Absolutely wonderful.
But terrifying.
Yeah.
This little nugget, Mike, is labeled the reanimated virus.
Oh boy.
Woohoo! Reanimating humans, or at least human-like creatures, as in Mary Shelley's Frankenstein or H.P. Lovecraft's Herbert West Reanimator, is a notion that has piqued the interest of writers, filmmakers, and of course scientists throughout the ages. But while reviving dead humans may not be on the cards for a race just yet, reviving other organisms is. This can be particularly unsettling when you think that those organisms are viruses. 2014, researchers from the Centre National de la Recherche Scientifique, dug a fascinating organism out of the Siberian permafrost, a so-called giant virus about 30,000 years old.
Yeah, bring that out and let it come back to life. That's been gone for 30,000 years.
They gave it the name Pithovirus sibiricum. Oh, look at the cute little Pithovirus sibiricum. Giant viruses are called this way because, though still tiny, they're easily visible under the microscope. But there is something else that makes P. sibiricum stand apart. It is a DNA virus that contains a large number of genes, as many as 500 to be precise, which is a stark contrast with other DNA viruses, such as the human immunodeficiency virus, HIV, which only contains about 12 genes. The size of giant viruses, as well as the fact that they contain such a large amount of DNA, can make them particularly dangerous, explain the researchers who discovered cute old P. cyber. Now, they say among known viruses, the giant viruses tend to be very tough, almost impossible to break open.
You got to get
Special
a big
environment-
nutcracker.
A big.
One of those tall ones that looks like a soldier, right in the mouth. Anyway, go ahead. I think Patrick looks like he's going to throw up or something.
I was trying not to laugh there. Okay.
I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. I'm reading quotes here. Special environments such as deep ocean sediments and permafrost are very good preservers of microbes and viruses because they are cold, anoxic, which is oxygen-free, and dark. When reanimated, P. Sibericum only infected amoebas. Happily not humans or other animals, as of yet.
As of yet.
My
right.
God.
Exactly.
Reanimated viruses, 30,000 years old, frozen in permafrost. They decided to open it up and see what it could infect. And so far, Mike, only amoebas. So you go, scientists. Keep on seeing what it can infect.
Yeah, well, scientists are know-it-alls, and I'm sorry, but I'm just kidding.
Oy,
I'm sure
oy,
we have.
oy, oy, oy.
Yes, we have science-like people that listen, and I don't want to offend anybody.
I'll end on this one, Mike. Human zombies? Question mark. It's been a long question. Can humans actually turn into zombies? Well, there's a few odd examples throughout history. A lot of them have been explained away through medical conditions, and so on and so forth.
Unless you live in Haiti.
Don't even. That's one of the most terrifying movies I've ever seen.
Yeah,
the Serpent and the Rainbow.
Oh,
But it was terrifying because I saw that as a kid.
Yeah.
I don't even know if it's a good movie anymore, but the scene where Bill Pullman's character is buried alive in that damn underground in that casket. No, thank you. Don't want to ever see that again. Man. Anyways, funny you brought up Haiti.
Okay.
In the 1990s, Dr. Duyan and Professor Littlewood. Oh, Littlewood.
He's got a little wood.
He sounds like that's a name that belongs in like some Tolkien Lord of the Rings fantasy novels. Oh, look at the Littlewoods right next to the Halfwoods. They decided to investigate whether Haitian zombies reanimated but mindless humans were actually a real possibility. They published a study in 1997 in which they analyzed the cases of 3 individuals from Haiti whose communities had identified them as zombies. One was a 30-year-old woman who had allegedly quickly died after having fallen ill. Her family recognized her walking about as a zombie 3 years after she quote-unquote died.
Oh, my.
3 years. Another was a young man who had quote-unquote died at 18 and reemerged after another 18 years at a, get this, cockfight.
Really?
No joke. Merged at a cockfight. The final case study concerned another woman who had, again, quote-unquote, died at 18, but was spotted again as a zombie, this time 13 years later, after her alleged death. Dr. Duyan and Professor Littlewood examined the 3, quote-unquote, zombies and found that they had not been the victims of an evil spell. Instead, medical reasons could explain their zombification. The first zombie, Mike, in fact, had catatonic schizophrenia.
Wow. A medical condition.
A rare condition that makes the person act as though they are walking in a stupor.
I've been on medication that does that.
But then again, how the hell do these people think that they're dead for years? What happens to them? I mean, where'd this woman go?
Yeah, how do they eat? How do they eat?
If she had catatonic schizophrenia, where did she go for those 3 years?
Yeah.
I'm thinking there's a lot left out of these stories, is what I'm saying.
How would they know when to go to the bathroom? I don't know. If there's zombies,
nature, Mike.
Just let it drop. I don't know.
It just goes. It just goes.
Drop it like a horse.
And drop it like it's hot, like a zombie.
Oh, that steamy moistness there.
Okay.
Got,
Okay.
got it. Let's go.
Sorry. Had to do it.
Yeah.
The second person had experienced brain damage and also had epilepsy. But again, these stories say they disappear.
Yeah.
While the third person appeared merely to have a learning disability. What? What?
No. There's some BS going on here somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah. There's some, the families are leaving out a wee bit of info, I believe.
Yeah, I think so.
People with chronic schizophrenic illnesses, brain damage, or learning disabilities are not uncommonly met with wandering in Haiti, and they would particularly likely be identified as lacking volition and memory, which are characteristics of a zombie.
Mm.
I don't like how that's what they wrote in the paper. That's really kind of painting it with a broad brush, if you ask me.
I think so. I think
What?
there's a lot of fantasy in that one.
There's also a specific psychiatric disorder called Cotard syndrome that can cause people to actually act like zombies.
Hmm.
They become disillusioned. I should say this is because they are under the delusion that they are in fact dead and or decomposing.
Jeez, that's horrifying in
Woo!
itself.
Case in point, a 53-year-old woman who was, quote, complaining that she was dead, smelling like rotting flesh, and wanted to be taken to a morgue so that she could be with other dead people.
Now that's funny. I can just picture, like pulling dead flesh off of her arms.
Oh, man.
In her mind, it's dead flesh, but oh, man. And boy, do I stink.
God damn. Someone check on Mammy. She's smelling up there.
Dang, what's that smell? Dang
She
it.
says she's dead, Pa. She says she's dead.
Well, let her be for about a day or two. She'll be fine.
This is Mike after his final body part falls off.
I have nothing.
Yep.
Oh, man.
Another quick example, Mike, is a 65-year-old man who had developed a belief that his organs, including his brain,
and his piano, too.
And his piano, yes, very good. Papa-dum-bing. His organs, including his brain, had in fact stopped working, and that even the house in which he lived in was slowly but steadily falling apart. At some point, the man attempted to take his own life. Researchers reported that his suicide note revealed that he wanted to kill himself as he feared spreading a deadly infection to the villagers who might suffer from his cancer. He thought it was some form of bizarre cancer. He attempted to take his own life. Unfortunately, it was a real medical issue going on there. But hell, real life zombies, Mike, in nature, potentially in human nature sometime down the road. I hope not. But well, my God.
There are things out there that we do not know.
That poor woman, 53-year-old woman who thought she was decomposing.
Yeah, that's horrible. And then I made fun of it.
And then wanted to go hang out in the morgue.
Yeah.
So she could be with other dead people.
Okay. Well, pull up a chair. We'll talk to this one.
Oh, man.
Can I unzip your bag?
No, you may not. Who knows what's in that bag? Woofta.
Pull out a
Mike,
drawer.
that's all I got.
That's all I got. Pull out a drawer. We'll be fine.
A drawer full of goodies.
Yes.
Woohoo! Mike, what do you have anything you would like to share? Shit, what time is it? I might have. We got about 10 minutes left, Mike. 10 minutes of this Halloween horror hoopla spectacular. Did you want to share a ghost story or two?
Oh, man.
Or did you want to just talk about hay? Or can I just sit here and play the button bar for the next 10 minutes?
Oh, no. I have found this website.
Get on with it.
Oh, shut up.
Yes, get on with it.
Your mother smells like elderberry. Anyway, 57 creepy true ghost stories to never feel alone again.
Lifta.
That doesn't make sense.
No, I think it probably says so you don't ever want to be alone again.
Yeah, well, they screwed up something. Well, let's see here. Now, these are well, it's only loaded up one story.
We're going to have This is a great ending here
The
to
rest
the
of it's
episode.
blank.
Oh,
Okay.
maybe
Anyway, this
it's like my brain.
This story is called The Shadow.
The Shadow. Oh, okay.
The Shadow knows.
Great voice. Love it.
Yes. What lurks in the minds of men? The Shadow knows. Anyway.
God, I need to find like creepy background music, but I don't think I have any.
Yeah.
Nope. No creepy music. Sorry, Mike. You'll have to go by yourself here.
Yeah, I'm just okay. Are you ready?
Don't you insinuate that I'm wasting time now or taking too long there,
Well, then let
Mr.
me start then, for crying out loud.
You go right ahead.
Okay, this is
go
called.
right ahead.
All right, I'm going to talk right over you. Okay, The Shadow.
That's fine.
I didn't know that's what it was called until much later. I was living in a house in Laguna Beach that had been there since the. Oh my God, what happened? Oh, there we go. Everything, all of a sudden the page just glitched. Yes, that has been there since the 1920s. In its history, it had been a speakeasy, a brothel, and a house for smuggling illegal immigrants. One day, my new wife and I were having an argument. I can't even recall what it was about. She walked down the block to get a cup of coffee and cool off. And I was alone in the house. And the way the place was built was incredibly haphazard. There was a bedroom and living room on one side, then a bathroom and two entrances. On the other side of the bathroom was a hallway that had windows in one side of two bedrooms on the other. From my bedroom, I could look across the hall into the bathroom, then through the bathroom and down the other hall. What the heck? Okay, I was standing at my dresser and I just noted movement out of the corner of my eye and looked down there, and there was, and honest to God, this gives me goosebumps just typing it, 17 years later, a black figure. It was maybe 3 feet tall, and it was only vaguely humanoid. It looked like black scribbles, like someone had scribbled a human shape, but the scribbles moved like electricity. If I have to say scribbles again, I'm gonna scream. Like
Scribbles.
Like electricity arcing. That's the best way to describe it. There was no sound that I could remember. I distinctly remember when I saw it, I wasn't afraid. Just like, WTF? Then it noticed me looking at it. So it's an intelligent. I can't say it turned around. It just focused on me, I guess. Then I was scared. I didn't move, didn't scream, nothing. I was frozen because it just effing came at me. It rushed down the hall towards me. I have no idea what it intended, but as soon as it entered the bathroom, the door closet to me just slammed shut on it. I screamed. I yelled for my wife. She wasn't home. I went the F outside into the daylight and didn't go back in until she got home about 10 minutes later. I don't believe in ghosts. I don't believe I saw something supernatural, but I know I saw something. I don't know what it was.
Wow. So that's okay. That sounds terrifying.
Yeah. But I
I've
would
never
love
heard
it. Huh?
I have never heard that description before where it kind of, I like that where it looked like scribbles.
Right.
Like, it's not fully, I guess that would be like not fully manifested then.
Yeah.
Like maybe it was trying to visualize itself, or if that's a proper way of saying it.
A shimmering energy that was trying to,
yeah.
come together. Yeah. And the way that it seemed to look at him, but not actually look at him like it had eyes and a face to look at him. It's just that this mass all of a sudden was aware of this human standing there.
Ooh, and then it took off towards him.
Yeah, it's like, yeah.
Oh man,
it would be frightening, terrifying.
And he says, like, I don't believe in ghosts.
Yeah.
I don't believe in the supernatural. But how would you describe that?
Yeah,
then,
that would be a big punch in the head.
Ooh, boy!
To a skeptic.
It's interesting that the story that you chose was about like shadow people. What could be classified as a shadow person? Because I recently posted on on the twit to fellow paranormal communities, if anyone had ever seen like either a full body apparition or a shadow person. Quite a few people wrote back saying that, yeah, they had experienced seeing shadow people, more so than the full body apparition. I'm not saying that that's a proper sample size, to give you a good example of
Right.
the disparity between the two, but I found it very interesting. I would love personally to encounter a shadow person, but I'm being straightforward, honest. I don't know how I would react. I don't know if I would be creeped out or if I would be just befuddled. I'd be transfixed. Maybe I wouldn't do anything.
Well,
Maybe, I don't know.
I
Maybe
ca-
I'd drop a zombie load again or something. I don't know what would happen. But
drop a dead turd,
yeah.
a dead
Oh, man.
skeletal turd
A virus infected turd.
that
Oh,
all of
man.
a sudden from inside of it you hear brains.
Oh,
Anyway,
anyways,
but
the great story. I love that. That's a great story, though.
yeah.
Oofta.
Well, the first shadow person that I saw, well, it was kind of the only. I've seen a black mass after that, but anyway, that shadow person that I saw, I looked over, and then after I got up and looked over there and got to where the back of the couch and looked to see if anything was there, which there wasn't. I just went back to my chair and started reading again. I think I was reading a newspaper.
Know.
It's
like Mike just not affected by it at all.
But I get excited about it, but it's like a lot of it's internal, and and I just and I do often take it, just okay, it's just something that happened, But excitement, the other night when we got that UFO, that was excitement.
Oh man, well, like I said, Mike
external.
Mike was the first one to drop the F-bomb when he says, "What the F is that?" And, and you can just hear it in your voice. It's so awesome.
And you thought I was joking with you.
I did. Yeah, I did. Because I thought you're playing your usual trick on me or something,
Yeah.
But no way, man. That was pretty cool. So, Mike, this has been a blast. Again, the episode has flown by. Unfortunately, I have to run. We are recording in the early afternoon. I have to go pick up some children, some teenagers, and give them a ride to the dental office where I'm going to drop them off and leave them there.
Yes. And you're going to go eat pizza after
that. No. And I will pick them up, actually.
Yeah.
Actually, it's just one is going to the dental office. Another one is going to a tennis banquet. And the third one, I believe she is involved in more swimming practice.
Dang.
Yeah, good stuff. It's a busy life being a parent of teenagers, man. I tell you that right now. But wouldn't change it for the world.
Absolutely. And all I have is after this podcast, I'm gonna probably go take a nap. I don't know.
Hey, well, that's awesome though.
Yeah.
That's good for you.
Who
good
knows?
for you. No, what you're going to do, Mike, is you're going after your nap. You're going to go to your computer and you are going to share the link to this latest podcast.
Yes.
So this latest hour and 20 minutes of brilliance, of podcast
brilliance.
Just I can't describe it in human terms how wonderful the Paranormalies. I can't stop. I can't go on anymore. Okay.
Yes.
And in all sincerity, it's been a blast, Mike. This has been a great episode. I think it's been apropos. For our quote unquote final standard Paranormally Zone episode to go out with a bang on a Halloween note. We are all huge fans of all things Halloween, creepy, spooky, and fun. And not including the true crime nastiness because that's awful, but you get what I'm talking about.
Yes.
Lots of memories going back in the day to our very first Halloween spooktaculars. I think this one ranks right up there, Mike, with the top 20 or so.
Yeah.
that we did.
Yes. Yeah.
Anyways, hey, if you feel like supporting the podcast, if you enjoy the content, again, no better way than to go check out our Patreon page. We'd appreciate it so very much. Exclusive content you can't find anywhere else. And right now, including that awesome UFO/UAP footage, legit real stuff we just captured Saturday night.
Yes.
And please go subscribe to the Paranormally Zone YouTube channel. That will be, moving forward, the only place for new Paranormally Zone flagship content.
Yes, and thank you so much for joining us on the Paranormally Zone Halloween Extravaganza.
Ooh!
Pasty white ghosty.
Right. We hope you all see a pasty white ghosty on Halloween.
well-
Mike,
They would have if we did video with this.
a video, right? They'd say
Yeah.
two. They'd
Yeah,
say two.
yeah.
Well, Mike, signing off for this episode. What do our friends of the paranormal need to do?
See you on the YouTube and peace out.
Or the two-tube. That's good too.
Yeah. Did I say YouTube?